rosy gold starfish, kind of a dusty rose. And then I found a piece, just a little piece of little driftwoody, I don't even know where this came from. Just a little piece of something like that. We're gonna do that at the end because it does shed. It's got like all sorts of debris all over it. And then I wanna show you the shells that I pulled out of my stash. I was kind of scrounging around, looking for things that had a little pinky hue to them so we could stay on theme. So these are a few of the shells that we're gonna use. So pretty. This one's my favorite. I don't know what this is called. If you guys know, I would love to order a bunch of these, but it's kind of like three-dimensional and it's got a little hole in it. Does anybody know what that is? Thank you for the stars. BB, I like that because you're Becky, B. My sister, one of my sisters is Gigi and the other one is JJ. So I don't know. So does anybody know what this cute little hollow thing, a barnacle? Thank you, Elaine. I really would like to have some more of those. This was just in a mix of shells that I had and I super duper love that. So we're gonna use that. And I did dump out some 1/2-inch rose gold. We do have Nana. That's perfect for you, Shannon. It's a snail. Exactly. They'll call me whatever they want, and I will answer to it happily. So I brought some 1/2-inch rose gold. We do have some of this in stock if you are interested in the 1/2-inch version. Maureen says she'll scrape them off her boat. That's funny. Okay, so I brought some 1/2-inch rose gold, and I brought a little bit of Starfire to the dance as well. So I'm gonna just dump this back into my bag so I don't make a mess. I feel like I'm just snotty, sniffly and snotty. I'm gonna stick these back in the bag and let's take the wrapping off. Now I'm using an 8x16, but whatever size you have will work. I think it's gonna look better the way we're gonna flow. It's gonna look a little better if it's elongated, but you could totally use whatever size you have available. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy this size special. A 10x20, an 8x10 even. You could even do, because this is bigger, you need a little bit bigger of a canvas, but if you were just gonna use rosy colored shells and stuff, then you could totally, hey Wendy, you could totally use whatever size you want. The larger starfish is dictating my canvas size on this day. All right, so let me take our plastic off. While we're at it, excuse me, I'm just gonna tear off this part that says 8x16 so everybody will know what we're using. And I'll just scotch tape this sucker right down to our table. Let me make sure you can see that right there. All right, so 8x16 canvas. We're gonna add a little bit of color to our canvas and go ahead and just get started. I'm gonna use a little bit of a larger brush. This is like a 1-inch flat. And like I said, I brought this cactus color. It's called Cactus Flower because I wanted to kind of stick with that rosy, dusty rose colorway, but we're definitely gonna dilute this with white. All right, so we're gonna do our white first and then we'll blend in some of that dusty rose almost like water, okay? So let's start with white. We'll cover our entire canvas with white, maybe some dusty rose clouds at the top. Yes, anything pink, I agree. And since I'm having a granddaughter, I'm all about the pink right now. I am in pink land. And her colors in her room are dusty rose as well. I'm actually going to paint, don't tell anybody, but I'm actually going to paint a sloth with pink flowers in his head, in her hair, in her crown for the baby's room. Don't tell Michaela, okay? Y'all, can you keep it secret? I'm gonna paint something super cute for the baby's room. Oh, sorry about the sniffles. So I'm just gonna get this white on my canvas. I'm gonna try to do it quickly so that it stays wet, so we can blend that pink in without it being too obnoxious. And we're gonna get that little booger thing off. Another booger. Get off me, get off there. I can tell I don't have enough. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, y'all tell me all your grandma names. Maybe I'll discover something besides Cece. Just Cece doesn't have the same ring to it as Gigi or Mimi or all those other initial grandma names. It just seems contrived. I'm gonna have to blow my nose, y'all. I apologize. I'm about to croak. Okay, so we have all of this white covered. Now I'm just gonna offload the rest. Row. That's perfect, Rose. Grammy. Nanny. Love all the grandma names. Winnie, I love that. Oh, she'll definitely decide for sure. Even if I say, okay, my grandma name is blah, blah, whatever she calls me is fine with me. Right? Yama, I love it. Stephanie's a Gigi. We have a Mimi. I'm gonna get a little bit of this cactus flower on my palette, and then we'll kind of play around with that and decide how we're gonna use it. I'm gonna pull this down just a little. Mimsy, I like it. Lolly, I like Lolly. Maybe I could be a Lolly too. I like Lolly. All right, I'm gonna go into this cactus color, cactus rose, cactus flower. And the first thing I'm gonna do is just come up here and try to mimic almost like clouds. So we're just gonna add a little bit of this rose color, and I'm using my brush flat, okay? So I'm gonna load it in just on that one side. You can see it's not covering both. Just kind of lay it down into the paint. Dab it in, cover that whole side. Can you see that? And honey, I like it. Baba, babushka. Yeah, he's gonna be hey, I think, Amy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm laying my brush almost flat, okay? And I'm just sliding left to right to add in some of this cactus color. It's not a cactus color, really. It's cactus flower is the name of the color. And just slide in to your desired effect. So it's mixing in with the white and minimizing a little bit. So you want to have a little bit of highs and lows. You don't want it to be all one color. You want it to give it some personality and just kind of create how you want it to look. I'm gonna add less down here at the bottom, or less movement, because all our shells are gonna be down here. And we don't wanna fight with those. All right, so if you feel like you've added too much color, just wipe off the excess, go back into your whites, just dab in, it's the same way, and just come back over some of it. I think, here's what I'm gonna do. Let's do something crazy. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna darken this up just a little. And what I don't want are lines. Just here's a line, here's a line, here's a line. You wanna kind of connect them so that they're organic. So see how this is kind of a line right here? So you wanna kind of bring that up and connect the two so that there's no harsh straight line that is disconnected and just kind of sticking out there by itself. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add a good bit of this color, especially at the top. All right, and then I'm gonna dry it. And then we're gonna come back with just a little bit of white and do the same technique. Let's dry it real quick. Over the top so it's dimensional, so it's multi-layered. So let's dry this. color's fantastic, isn't it? And look, this is gonna be so great. Love it. So let's get this dry. Ugh. Hey, you're welcome, Devin. I didn't want to miss another Wednesday, but I do need to cook and clean my house so that nobody shows up tomorrow and thinks this girl lives in a pigsty. Because trust you me, it is not clean right now. Between my busy October and being sick, it is a hot mess. Thanks for the sprinkles. Okay, how about a giveaway? Okay, let's talk about a giveaway while we let this cool off. I have, excuse me, y'all. I have a set of paints, okay, that I got from, I think from Michael's. This is their holiday set, and it has 12 colors of paint in it. It has white, holiday red, pure pumpkin, mustard yellow, holiday green, pool blue, black, gray, chocolate brown, tan, violet, and Mediterranean blue. So everyone who sprinkles, let your friends know that we're here hanging out, having a good time this afternoon. Invite them to join us. Let them know we're here every Wednesday. We will draw a name from those who sprinkle. Come back and tell me you sprinkle, and we will draw a name and gift this to some lucky sprinkler, and we'll ship this out next week, okay? So invite your friends, let them know what's happening over here, and let me know you did that, and we will gift that paint set to one lucky creator. How you like that? All right, I think it's cooled off enough. I'm gonna rinse my brush, get some of that pink out, get a little bit of that water out, and then I'm gonna go straight in. That's wanting to fold up, isn't it? I'm gonna go straight in just to the white. So I'm gonna load that one side with just white, and we're gonna come back over the top. I don't wanna cover all my pink. I just wanna add another layer. So again, I'm using it almost flat to the surface of my canvas, and I'm just gonna come in and add a little bit more than that, a little bit of that white right back over some of that pink to give it a little dimension. I'm gonna have to have more white on. Thank you for the stars, y'all. Forgot to turn that off, but I appreciate y'all. So load one side only, paint side down, and you're just gonna skim across and add just another dimension of, the chair won't move, another dimension, and just take some of that dark pink back to the background. Just adding a little more interest. All right, we'll come right over that. And again, I want to connect my pieces. I don't want it to just be like this. Here's what I don't want. I don't want to load it and then have a blob like that. Okay? I want to connect and make it super organic. So just kind of pull it down and make it not a specific shape. All right, so let's come up here, connect, bring it around. And I'm not gonna worry too much about the bottom part because we are gonna have lots of shells and giblets down there. So let's focus mostly on the top. I'm digging this, y'all. This is super cool. I'm gonna have a hard time stopping. Okay, I think we're good. One more little blob. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll show you close up too so you can kind of see the look you're gonna be going after. So what it does is kind of takes that pink back. So it's like, Yeah, it is almost like using a palette knife, Amy. What it does is confuses the eye a little too. And so it's like when somebody's looking at it, they're like, oh, how did she do that? What color is first? Did she paint the pink first? Did she paint the white first? So it kind of confuses the eye. All right, so I'm gonna leave that. And let me show you this close up. So you can kind of get a visual closer up. Super cool, right? Yes. Excuse me. So that was just white and cactus flower. Super pretty color. Great for spring too. All right, so let's get this dry so we can add all the goodness that is. Sorry. Thank you. It does give more dimension. It's kind of a dusty, rosy, cloudy sky. Thank you, Mary, for the sprinkles. Almost dry. Got a few little wet spots here. Did y'all see we have a new color? I should have brought some to my desk, but I didn't. We have a new color in, and it's silver reflective, perfect for Christmas. Perfect for Christmas trees. And we just listed that today, silver reflective. All right, I'm gonna move this aside because this is all the painting we're gonna do, okay? Let's let it cool off a little. I'm gonna take that down. I keep moving it around and confusing. Okay, so when I first laid out my starfish with my rose gold, I thought that is gonna clash because this was looking a little more purpley and this was a little pinky. But then I thought, well, take it out of the bag, you know? So I started taking it out of the bag and I thought this looked great. So I'm gonna move this up. It's got glitter on it. Y'all know that's the bane of my existence. I'm gonna use about a bag of that 1/2 inch. I don't like that piece. It's 1/2 inch rose gold. Let me show you what it looks like in case you don't know. So it is kind of pinky on one side and it's translucent and it's gold on the other. So it's called rose gold and this is the 1/2 inch and I stinking love it. It's so pretty. So we're just gonna make a little band of color and these bigger pieces I like to flip so you can see the fragments in it. And we're gonna make a space for our starfish to kind of lay flat because I don't want it floating on this glass. So I think I'll just move some over. We'll kind of situate that where we want it and then we'll push some of this glass back in. And I think because this little leg right here is where the hanger was, because I took it off so you can see that has a little hole in it. So we definitely want to disguise that little bit. So I'm gonna angle it towards the bottom so that we can add shells or whatever we need around that to hide that little nugget, that little bit. So let me see, and I don't like a perfect line. I want it to be organic and natural, high and low, up and down, and so we're gonna add a little more. And I got some pieces in here that I do not like. I'm gonna toss those. And I'm just gonna add a few more pieces here and there. I don't like that one either. And Now what I'm gonna do is just kind of fill in with, let me scoot that up just a little. I'm gonna fill in with just a little bit of Starfire, okay? This is the 1/4 inch, just regular old Starfire. Just gonna get a little handful in my hand, just one little handful, and I'm gonna use that to kind of fill in like any spots that I feel like need a little extra something. And we'll let some fly up. Some of the smaller pieces kind of be up at the top. And just fill in any little bare spots, because that 1/2 inch glass can get a little heavy. Thank you for the sprinkles. Okay, so now we have a bunch of goodness here. We also have this piece that I'd like to add in. I think I'm gonna wait till the end because this thing does shed. I think I got these, like a little bag of these at Hobby Lobby. They're super different looking, if you can see all those holes. But I'm gonna wait till the end to put this in. I am going to like set it somewhere like this, but I don't want it to shed all in my glass. So I may just leave it like that for a second and arrange everything and then pull it off because it does tend to shed a little. Right. And the glitter from this thing is going everywhere. Yeah, it's very tender driftwood. So I pulled out, like I said earlier, I pulled out a bunch of shells that had a little pinky hue to them, a little pinkness. So I'm just gonna start kind of arranging my shells where I want them. I do need to put one here, and I think what I'll do is do like 2 shells, maybe one like this, and then one right beside it to kind of cover up just that edge of that hole where you can see that that's where the hanger was. So I'm just gonna add a few pieces here and there. So I have 3, and then let's do one here. And I like this little piece. Let me add it right there. I like to work in odds, so if I start moving things around, just ignore me. I'm gonna scooch this in. And we'll put this, I want it to look natural. I don't want it to look like I just spent 30 minutes trying to figure out where I wanted it, but I do want to spend 30 minutes trying to figure out where I want it, right? It's like, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna stick that over there. I love this barnacle. Is that what you guys said this was? So I think I'm gonna stick him right over here by this driftwood too, because barnacle's on the driftwood. And I have a couple more pieces, just 2. So I have 3 shells, I have 3 shells, and I have 2 shells. I'm gonna add this little piece over here. This is kind of a fossil. It doesn't really have pink in it, but I love the fossilized little portion of that. So I'm gonna stick that in right in that area. So now I have 3, and I have 3, and I have 3, and I feel like it's too uniform now. So we gotta find something. I'm gonna stick this one. Oh, look at this side. So one side is kind of orangey, but look at that side. It's got that pinky purple. We're gonna use that side, and I'm just gonna stick him right under that little driftwoody thing right there. Love it. Love it. I wish there was something else we could add, but what we may do, once we swish, once we do our resin, what we may do, and I'll probably have to pick this up and put a little resin underneath, but what we may do is add, y'all know, maybe a little seed bead, and definitely, most definitely, we'll add some bubbles. Gotta have deep sea bubbles. I'm kind of looking around on my little desk to see if there's any other little thing I might can add. I can't stand it. I want to add something else, and I just don't know. Feel like there's something. in here that would be perfect for, I'm roaming around, y'all. Something that would be perfect for this piece. And I just need to get over myself and move on. Yeah, I think I am. I think I'm going to get over myself. I do have, all right, let me grab these and then we'll discuss. I do have some crazy pinky rosy seed beads that we might be able to add. I'm gonna grab them out. You can get the bubbles in my store, Anna, artshattered.com. We sell them by, I think they're 3-ounce bags. I do have some fun rosy, these are called Burgundy Dream, but they're kind of different rose colors. They have a little bit of gold, rosy gold in them. I'm gonna set these right here, and after we resin, we can decide if we wanna add any of that to our pieces. Oh, look at these. I'm like, it's a treasure chest. Let me see if I can open this. Oh, those are not the right color, but they're super pretty. They're too bronzy, I think, but we'll leave them here. We may decide to add some of that too. Pearls. Girl, you are right. And I do, for sure, have pearls. Let me grab them. I got some pearls, y'all. I got some pearls. See? That's why I need y'all. Looky, looky. And not white pearls, but ivory pearls. These came from Hobby Lobby. They are bead design, and they're half price this week, $6.99. So I paid $3.50 for this whole thing of pearls. Okay, so we're gonna leave these. I am actually gonna add some of these pearls right now, because I know we need these. And these are heavy enough that they, look at this too. Look, y'all, this came from Michael's. Those little shelly things. I'm finding all the goodness. These pearls are heavy enough that they'll stay in without having to, glue them down. They'll sit right in the glass. So let me just dump some into my hand. Right? That's why I like going live and doing my art, because it's like I get all the good ideas, right? It's not fair, is it? So I'm just going to take 5 or 8 of these beads or these pearls and let's just lay them around. There's a big one there. And we'll put one here. That's 2, 3, 4, one more. I like 5. Okay, 5 pearls. We don't want to overdo it, right? Less is more sometimes. Sometimes more is more, but often less is more. All right, now I got pearls bouncing all over the place. So, I'm trying to decide about this. They do have, I want to show you this up close and see if you can tell. They do have that rosy reflectiveness to them. May cut one off and see how it looks. Let me just cut one. Oh, Nelly. So it's kind of shelly looking. It's got some seed beads in here too that they're attached to. So it's kind of looks like a shell on both sides, and it's super pretty. I just feel like we need it. I'm actually going to take this fossil off. That kind of, one of these things is not like the others, and I'm going to stick that here. Now it's just one little thing, but I think it makes all the difference in the world right there. Oh my goodness. I like it. It makes a difference. And I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to go crazy. and put them everywhere, but I kind of want to put them everywhere. Hey, Mississippi, how you doing? Okay, so maybe I'm going to pull off 2 more. Let's talk threesies. Maybe one here. And I got some seed beads. They're falling in my lap. And then one here. Those really pop. I don't know if you can even tell right now. And I'm definitely going to have to do a little video when this is done so you can see this close up. But this really does look pretty. Can you see those? I'm trying to get it centered a little. I'm going to be still for a second. Yeah, I don't mind if it's empty in one little spot. I don't want to fill it all up. It doesn't look as empty in person as it does maybe online. I don't want to fill every little square inch up, but I am going to move this over a little. And I may put this little pearl right in the center. Yeah, it doesn't look as bad as you think. All right, I think I'm happy with this. I think I am, So I need to keep this out so I'll know I use those. Those came from Michael's, by the way. I'm gonna put these back in this little shell and we'll talk about those when it's time. Let's go ahead and resin. Blow my nose, my Lord. Excuse me, close your ears for 1 second. Oh, I am a snot factory. I apologize. I didn't want it dripping in the resin though. That's gross. That's so nasty. Okay, I am gonna have to pull my sleeves up. I know, it's just like a steady stream. It's terrible. I'm going to go ahead and mix my resin. I think I'm going to mix up 2 ounces. I'm not sure I'll need 2 ounces, but there's a lot going on here. So I am going to grab my cups and I'm going to do 1 ounce of resin and 1 ounce of hardener. And we'll pour it in this little booger, which is, I think this is 4 ounces. I can't see the measurements. Hang on. You can't see. I'm blind in one eye and can't see out the other. So I'm trying to see 100 milliliters. It doesn't even have ounces. It just has milliliters. That's annoying. So let's see, milliliters. 1 ounce is 30 milliliters. So it would be 60, 30 and 30. It don't matter. It don't matter. What am I doing? Because I'm just going to pour it in here. Don't be scared, Lainey. The worst thing that can happen is you need to pour again. It is visible, but I'm going to move this anyway when I resin so I can resin under it. So remind me before we get off here to check that again because it is visible. All right, so I'm going to mark my cups. Hang on, I'm bumping everything at the 1 ounce line. And then we'll pour into that bigger cup. So let's do 1 ounce of hardener in that cup. And we'll do 1 ounce of resin. And like I said, I'll be surprised if it takes all this, but I've been surprised before. We've got a lot of glass, a lot of stuff happening here. So it is possible that it will take that. So let's glove up. Hey, Becky. Girl, just do it. Do a small project, Lainey. Just do something small. And once you resin, I promise, you can ask anybody here who has been in your shoes, once you do it that one time, you're going to realize it wasn't so bad after all. It wasn't so scary. You just need to follow procedures, and just like I'm going to outline here this day, okay? So, and first thing I would tell you is measure in 2 cups, okay? Thank you, Becky. So they sell these little cups on Amazon. I buy them by the thousands, but they also have them at Hobby Lobby if you just want to have, 10 or 20, okay? So I am going to pour hardener in 1 cup, okay? So this is the hardener. It has a white cap. So I'm going to pour 1 ounce of hardener in this cup. I hope I am. This is, might not be 1 ounce of resin or hardener. Might be on the struggle bus with this. I'm going to have to find some. This is hardener. I'm going to have to find some hardener because this is not going to be enough. Come on, little darling. Yeah, that's not enough. I'm not even going to sit here and try to drain every drop out. So hardener, don't confuse it, okay? I'm going to set that right here because that's what we're short of, and that is what we need more of in this cup. So I'm going to grab another container and pop it open. And finish off. So we're doing the hardener, white top, and we'll finish off to get that 1 full ounce. Come on, you can do it. Now, once it gets close to my line, I'm gonna stop because it does like to grow. You think if you pour all the way to your line, it's gonna just keep flowing up, 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 and then you're gonna have more. That's why you need to mix in 2 cups if you're new, okay? Always use 2 cups. So this is our hardener. I'm gonna set that here, and I'm gonna put our hardener bottles away from me so I don't make a mess and mess up. Hardener bottle. And now we're going to pour the resin, which has a black top, okay? Now, if you're not using art resin, this is what I'm using. If you're not using art resin, you need to follow the directions on whatever resin you're using. No 2 resins are alike, okay? They're all different. Some are measured by weight. Some are measured by fluidity, whatever, liquid. Some are 2 to 1, some are 1 to 1. Art resin is 1 to 1, so make sure you follow the directions on whatever resin you're using because they are not created equal. And I have a hard time knowing and helping with a resin that I'm not familiar with. So, and let me just tell you this right now. I know a lot of you guys, it's like, but this resin is cheaper. It's not cheaper if you have to apply 3 coats of resin to get a nice, smooth finish, okay? If you have to use 3 times as much, then that, in the end, is not a cheaper resin. What'd I do in my big old cup? I had it right in my hand. Where, oh where? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Don't answer that, y'all. I am crazy, but I know I have my little silicone cup in my hand. I don't know what I did with it, but we'll get another one. Y'all see it? I don't see it. Y'all see me? Oh, it's on the floor. It's on the floor. It was on the floor. Okay, so I'm gonna pour, because this is a 4-ouncer, I can pour both of these into my 4-ounce cup. It did roll off the table. I can pour both of these into my 4-ounce cup and mix directly out of that because you need mixing space. So I'm gonna dump my hardener. Make sure you get it all. That way your parts are equal. Get as much as you humanly can. So that, you just set that there, and then we'll do this one, which is the resin, I guess, one or the other. Scrape it all out. Make sure you get all the juice, all the giblets. And voila. Okay, so we have 2 ounces total. An ounce of resin and an ounce of hardener. Now comes the mixing part. Is it fuzzy? I swear, Karen, sometimes I don't even know how I get up and out of bed in the morning. These came from Amazon. They're just silicone cups. And I'll tell you this, I'm gonna start stirring, Becky. I left some resin in the bottom of one of these for like 2 weeks. And I literally flipped it inside out and it peeled right out without any issue whatsoever. So these are completely reusable and super nice to have around. Especially if you're like me and you leave things set. Yeah, it was probably in there for 10 days, if at all. So we're gonna stir this for 3 minutes. Hobby Lobby has these little silicone cups. That's super cool. They're probably cheaper from Amazon, and they probably all come from the same place, if you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna stir and mix. You're not gonna whip it to death, especially when it's cold outside. Cold makes your resin a little thicker and bubbly anyway. So you wanna make sure you're working in a room temperature, 70-ish degrees, 68 to 70 is pretty much how I keep my studio. And you don't wanna whip this, okay? You're gonna stir gently, scrape the bottom of your cup, scrape the sides of your cup, and really get this mixed up nicely. Yeah, wiping them out with baby wipes or the little wipes that Max sells is really smart, but I'm not always, Anna, I'm not always that smart. Sometimes I get up and walk away, and then I come back the next day and go, now why did I do that? That's how I roll. That is how I roll. When I'm done, I'm done. Walk away. Just silly. So we're gonna stir gently for 3 minutes. Don't forget, I wanted to remind you while I'm stirring that for sprinkling, we are gonna give away a 12-piece set of Craft Smart paint, and that's right, Lainey. The holiday set of paints to one lucky person who sprinkles. So what happens is you let your friends know that you are here watching us create. Let them know that we're here on Wednesdays and that they should come and join in and check out what we're doing. Come back and let me know. Thank you, Catherine. Come back and let me know that you sprinkled, and we're going to draw a name from those sprinklers, and we are going to gift someone with this 12-pack of holiday paints. So just sprinkle, let me know you sprinkled, and then we'll draw a name on Monday and send some lucky girl, boy, son, daughter, mama, daddy, somebody. Thank you, Linda. Somebody. I'm just going to keep stirring for a second because I feel like it's a little chilly, and I'm trying to warm it up with my hand a little. Anyway, yeah, we are going to gift that paint set to someone. So make sure you sprinkle. All right, so I am going to lift off my big old starfish very gently because I do want to make sure that I have resin under there. All right, I'm gonna move this pearl too. So I'm gonna start kind of right in that area. and drizzle resin right where that starfish goes. And then we'll place them back and start from scratch. All right, I'm gonna stick all kinds of resin right in there. That way you have something to hold on to. Then we'll stick it back down. Make sure your little leg is sticking where it's supposed to be. Set it right down in. I feel like there's something under there. Hang on, let me peek. Nope. It's just its booty. It's just its little booty. There we go. All right. Now I'm gonna go over the top and then we'll arrange things where the little open leg we could have, but I just wanted to make sure that I had resin underneath it as well. So if you glue it down, you don't get resin underneath, and it might be rattly or something. I don't know. I'm not very good at gluing things down either, so. All right, so now I'm gonna just start on one side and move my way over. Just drizzling right over the top of this glass and our shells. I'm gonna pop that upwards a minute and just get some resin underneath, and then we'll pop it back down. And we're just gonna keep going. And I'm gonna go right to left and just fill in over all my glass bits. We're gonna get on top of that starfish as well. So I'm just gonna drizzle right over the top, and it'll run down the top and sides and kind of adhere itself to the canvas. So we'll do our 5 little legs. Let's do that center. Let it start running. We'll do this leg. And this leg. Is it legs or arms? What do you think? Yay, Elizabeth! All right. I'm gonna get these pieces. I'm just gonna work myself right to left, left to right, whatever works for you. And I'm gonna pop that upward just a little, get a little bit of resin underneath that shell. And we'll throw it back down. And I'm just gonna move this because it needs to be moved anyway. So I'm gonna get a little bit of resin on that glass that's underneath it. And then I'll just place it back right where I need it to cover that little open piece of his leg. And we'll come right back over the top. And we're just gonna keep going. I'm gonna move that over too. Anytime there's a larger piece that's covering up glass, sometimes it's better so things aren't rattly. Have you ever made a piece that the next day you came back and you picked it up and it was rattling because there was like a loose piece of glass under there that, I'm gonna turn that opposite, that didn't get resin down? So if you'll just pick up those larger pieces as you're resining and just put a little bit of resin underneath those large pieces, it'll keep that from happening. And I was talking about how I thought I was gonna have too much resin. I may not have enough. I may have grossly underestimated. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna pick up this little piece, just scooch it aside. Now this one's laying on canvas, so I can go right over it. It'll just run down. And I'm not gonna move that driftwoody piece because it's sitting pretty nicely. And there's enough holes that I won't have to mess with it too much to keep it from shedding all over the rest of my piece. So I'm just gonna resin right over it. And it is gonna darken a little, just so you know, because it's wood and it's porous. It will darken up a little bit like if it was wet. So the resin will change its color just a little, just so you know. All right, let's get that barnacle, my favorite little piece. Gotta find me some. I wonder if I can find them on Etsy or Amazon or something. And I see a hair. Get off there. Yep. Come here. Come here, sucker. Looks like a cat hair. I don't know how that would have gotten there. Come here. Oh, got it. Little cat hair. All right, so I'm just gonna keep going. We're almost there. I think I'm gonna make it. I think I am. We're definitely not gonna have a huge amount of excess though, because I still gotta do the top. Now this shell I have on the top left corner is a little bit of a big shell too. So I'm probably gonna prop that up real quick. Let's just move it and make sure we get a little bit of resin on that glass underneath so it doesn't rattle. Then we'll just lay it back down. Just like that. And then we'll cover the top. Let it run down. And voila. We're done, and I am gonna really be pushing my luck to get the top done with what's left in my cup. So, y'all keep your fingers crossed. Otherwise, it's gonna be iffy. Just spread it out down here. Make sure all that resin is all the way to the edge. All right, and so now I'm just going to scrape out this tiny bit I have left. And I'm just gonna do this. And we're gonna make do with whatever we have. Whatever's in here is what we're gonna use. If it's lacy, then it'll be lacy. Y'all know what I mean by lacy? It's like not fully covered. All right, I'm gonna lay that down. That is as empty as it gets. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this around so that I can work on the top. And I'm gonna show you, because I feel like I'm not gonna get all this covered, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna get all that off. So I am gonna make sure, oops, let me get that piece of glitter. I'm gonna start, I kind of ran my resin left to right and made strings. So I'm gonna make sure that all this at the bottom is covered nicely. Let me get that piece of glitter. Covered nicely, and then I'm gonna spread that out a little. Just right at that glass line. Just kind of dab at it, make sure it's covered. And then I'm just gonna take my hand and I'm just gonna very lightly run my hand left to right. And so it's gonna kind of make it a little lacy looking. It's gonna have some skippies. Ugh, what is on my hand? It's gonna have some skippies, kind of intentional, because obviously I don't have enough resin. So I want it to look almost like clouds, kind of like how we made our clouds look. So it was like a little bit of pink and then a skip and a little bit of pink and a skip. So we're gonna kind of make it look intentional. so that we have intentional little skips, almost like lace. And then once it's dry tomorrow, I'll show you, I'm gonna see if I can scrape a tiny bit. I'll show you what it looks like so you can kind of see a close up. I'll do a little video so you can see. Need a little bit right there. So you could do the same thing if you wanted. So I'm not covering the whole thing, but I am making sure that whatever is skipped is like linear, left to right, and not a big circle or something. Yes, yes, Sherry, exactly. You do it intentionally to just give it a cloudy or an oceany, watery look. All right, so I'm gonna come down, make sure the edge is covered nice down here where my glass is. Come around this edge. All right, now I'm gonna take my gloves off because I made a hot mess. And a little resin drip right here. I don't want to get my clothes in it. And now I think I'm gonna add some bubbles. Oh, I did, I covered it. I do need to scooch it over just a little. Hole is covered. I'm gonna stand up and look at this. Oh, I love it. Love it. I think I need, oh, there's my pearl. He was hiding. Little pearl here. Pearl here. I think I want to move this one over here. There we go. I like that better. And I'm going to scoop up this little piece of glitter. Okay. Looks good. I love this, y'all. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to take a little bit of bubble, just a handful, and I'm just going to, right across the top, especially like where the water is splashing up, we'll add a few bubbles, maybe a few more. Let's get a few more. I love the bubbles too. So we'll add a few more right in here. And voila. I try not to worry too much about where they're placed. And then now we got to decide this. Yes, Catherine, this is my Wednesday night live. I have to cook and clean. So I just wanted to come on early so I could get home and do my job. Okay, so we need to decide about these. I'm going to dump them in my hand, some of these. Robin, you can get the bubbles on my store at artshattered.com. They're literally called bubbles on my store. So these are Burgundy Dream. So let's decide if we want to toss any of this in. So they're all kind of pink and rosy. Do you think we should add some? Give me some thumbs up if you think we should. Thumbs up. They're really pretty. They may add a little something. Yes. See, y'all are my kind of people. Let's just toss in a few, right? Oh, they're perfect. They are perfect. And they'll add a little bit more of that rosy look to this glass. And look how pretty they are. They're kind of gold, rosy, kind of pink rose, dusty rose, all the best colors. We'll add a few here and there. I can't wait to show you guys this when it's dry. All right, I want a few more. Isn't it gorgeous? I agree. You guys get credit. You guys get all the credit. Whoever sent me, I cannot even remember who sent me this Starfish. I apologize. If you're here and I don't remember, I apologize in advance for not remembering, but I've had it a couple months and my brain, I can barely remember yesterday. So I apologize, but someone sent me the Starfish and I have been dreaming about this piece ever since. Oh my goodness, y'all. Okay. It came from Hobby Lobby. It was one of those special ornaments in the single ornament section. All right, I got to show y'all this close up. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. I'm not even going to add any of this. I think it's overkill. Just the bubbles and the rosy seed beads. Check this out. Look at this. Is this not beautiful? Hey, Karen. I am completely in love. Is that not gorgeous? Holy moly. Look at that. The sky looks so good. And I see debris. I need to get my little pick because I see another cat hair. Silly kitty cats. Let's get that out. Probably from my clothes. And I see something here that looks like maybe a little glitter. And real quick, across the top, I am going to hit it with my heat gun on low. And just because it is kind of loosely done, it's going to have a little textury look in the resin anyway. So I'm not too terribly concerned about bubbles in this because we do have skippies in that resin, but I don't want it to be a ton. So I'm going to hit this with my heat gun and I see a little more debris. So let's get that out. So make sure you watch for debris. If you have pets in your house, and you know how it is on your clothes, make sure you check. You're not ever going to get every little thing out because nobody's house is perfectly dust-free, and a lot of this is just dust from the air. But anything super obvious, try to get that out. There's another cat hair, or it's just the same one, and I keep dropping it, maybe. All right, I think, let me just look. I think I got it all. I can't wait to show you the skippies tomorrow because it does fit in perfectly with this piece. It does look good. What is that? Debris? We have debris. Debris. And one little piece of glitter. I think we're good. Oh my goodness. Is this not beautiful? It is spectacular. That starfish is perfect. The colors worked out perfectly and I love this.